What if I told you that two young professionals earning the exact same salary and working in the same city could end up in completely different financial worlds after 10 years? One is on the verge of financial freedom, while the other is worried about next month's rent. The only difference between them was a tiny decision made on their very first payday. This is a story about two best friends. Let's call them Lisa and Karen. 10 years ago, they were college roommates who graduated and landed jobs at the same company, earning identical salaries and sharing the same apartment. Their lives looked like two perfect parallel lines. On the day they received their first paycheck, Lisa was thrilled. The first thing she did was buy the latest smartphone, followed by a celebratory dinner at an expensive restaurant with friends. Her logic was simple. I worked hard all month. I have to treat myself. Her plan for the rest of the money was to pay her rent, utilities, and credit card bills, and then save whatever was left over. Karen's approach, however, seemed like a buzzkill to Lisa. The first thing Karen did with her paycheck wasn't to spend it, but to set up an automatic transfer on her banking app. The day after every payday, 15% of her salary would automatically move into a separate investment account that she rarely looked at. Only then would she use the remaining 85% to plan for her rent, living expenses, and entertainment. Over the next few years, the differences in their lifestyles became more and more apparent. Lisa was always on trend, using the latest gadgets and attending fabulous parties every weekend. Karen, on the other hand, seemed more frugal. She would hesitate before taking an expensive trip and prioritized value for money when she shopped. To their friends, Lisa was living life to the fullest, while Karen was depriving herself. And so, 10 years passed. A sudden economic crisis led to layoffs at their company. Unfortunately, both of them were on the list. Lisa instantly panicked. She checked her bank account and realized that after a decade she had almost no savings. Her trendy clothes and expensive gadgets couldn't pay next month. Rent, Karen, though sad about losing her job, opened the investment account she hadn't touched much in 10 years. The number inside was not only enough to see her through a period of unemployment, but was also close to a down payment on a small apartment. How is this possible? Lisa asked in shock. We earned the exact same amount. Karen's secret was the decision she made on her very first payday. Behind that decision lies one of the most powerful and yet counterintuitive principles in finance: pay yourself first. Most people, like Lisa, follow what seems like a logical formula. Income expenses equals savings. We pay our bills, we pay our landlord, we pay retail brands, we pay retail brands. We pay everyone else first, and ourselves last. But the problem is, human wants are infinite. A psychological devil known as Parkinson's law quietly works against us, which states that expenses will rise to meet income. So, by the end of the month, the savings part of the equation is always left with scraps, if anything at all. Karen's formula was the reverse. Income, savings equals expenses. She treated savings and investing as the first and most important bill she had to pay each month. She was paying the future Karen, the one 10 and 20 years down the line. Only then did she use the rest of the money to manage her present life. The most crucial step in this strategy is automation. Karen didn't have more willpower than Lisa. She simply used a system instead of relying on human nature. That automatic transfer setup defeated the monthly impulse to spend and the temptation of laziness. The day after payday, the money was already gone, so she never even had the chance to spend it. This forced her to live on a smaller budget, which in turn taught her how to be a smarter consumer. The 15% she paid to herself, sitting in that investment account, grew on its own through the power of compound interest. Every market dividend was like recruiting new money employees to work for her. 10 years later, when her salary income was cut off, her vast army of money employees was more than enough to work for her. So, this story tells us that what determines your financial future is never about how much you earn. It is about who you choose to pay first each month. The businesses that give you fleeting pleasure, or the only person who will be with you for your entire life, your future self. The answer to that question is writing the script for your next 10 years.